Right. Got to plug the headphones in as well, haven't you? Right. Cup of coffee. Stop that. Right, how we doing? No, thanks for the Rick James. Dastardly, how you doing? Call. Have we got anybody else? Oh, Sean. Hello, Sean. Right, Sean, you had a question, didn't you, off the last stream? What was it again? I'll try. Oh, it was about. You were asking me what was the chord plugin. I'll show you. Cthulhu. So that's what it is there, Cthulhu, and it's made by Xfer Records. Yes, that's right, Cthulhu. No, that's okay. So he can have his beauty sleep. It's very important. Yeah. So Cthulhu's great. It's really good because you can write your voicings and play them and hear how they all fit together. So I think it's great. But I think all of Steve Duda's stuff, who's the guy who makes it, like the stuff he makes is brilliant because he does like Serum as well, which I've now got in the template. I think it's going to be a permanent thing, that. In fact, we're going to use that today because I'm going to do a few splurges with it. But also the reason I want to splurge is because I've got a new plugin, which I don't want to spend too much time using and getting lost into, but I'm going to use it today. So when I'm developing my template, sometimes there are certain things that I need, and I kind of have to put it together myself or find something. And then sometimes I get lucky and there's a plugin that sort of does part of that job for me, but also adds a few other creative opportunities as well. And I think I found that. So I'm going to show you in a minute. Right, so here we have it. Shape a box. So there's lots of different modules you get, but there was one particular module. I got the whole pack actually, but there was one particular module that I wanted, and it was the noise one. So I'll switch it on. I'll let you hear it. Now, what this does is this dynamically adds noise to whatever track you want to put it on, and you can just shape that noise with the dynamics. That's it, as an envelope. I think they call it an envelope follower. Alright, so here we go. So I'll exaggerate it. Here we go. And I can have lots of different noises. So it comes with a list of like noises. So you can get the whole shaper box stuff for it's like $60 or something. So it has like lots of different noises, and then it's got all the categories here. So you got the basic one, white noise, which sounds great, which is what I'm probably going to go for. But then we can adjust the filter of it. So if we listen to noise only, so that's the white noise. Let's flick through a few different ones. How about, so that's the vintage console. Valve preamp. Valve preamp's quite good. It's wide. Not much going on in the centre, so that'll be quite good for the drums. Yeah, there we go. And then we can just give it a bit of an EQ on here. So I'll just EQ that in context so you can hear it just a high pass and a low pass filter that's built into the actual plugin. It's running on the drums. There we go, we've got some noise, right, and we've got some 808s and we've got some other hi-hats there. Find some percussion, something of interest. Alright, some fun going in the background there, switch it off. I'll try this, it looks new. There we go. So I'm just knocking the noise out the way of the hi-hats there. Right. Oops. Yes, Carl, I'm adding noise. The plugin's just running on the drums. I can't remember if I said that before. No, it's right, yeah, so what's happening here, Carl, is I've got different buses set up for different groupings of instruments. So this is on the drum group. And if I just want to add it to, say, the kick and the snare, there's a threshold. So I can set the threshold for it to just react on the loudest peaks, which is inevitably the kick and the snare. So you can just get, if you have a listen. So it's reacting on everything there. So there it's just acting on the kick and snare. Cool. Yeah, so in the template, drums are in a group, bass is in a group, and then I have a music group, which is everything else. There's 3 groups, and that includes guitars. And then I have 4 other things here, which is a reference track, which I never ever use, arrangement, sidechain. So I still have the old sidechaining method set up in case I want to use it for a compressor, so I just use a sidechain trigger for that. And then this I use a lot, so this has just got master effects on, so this is like a kind of pre-master bus. Everything goes into here, and then if I want to run an effect on everything, like the lo-fi effect, then it's here. So that's what we're doing there. Right, okay. Now to do something else. Right, something musical. So I do like backgrounds. So let's find something to go in the background. And I did actually have some stuff on Splice. I can't remember what the packs were called. But I got some new sort of ambience kind of stuff. So there's just having a quick look at it. And let's try that then. The other cool thing about that plugin is you can add your own noise. That's a nice chord, isn't it? It's just got B flat. I don't know what it is. B flat major 7 maybe? Turn the master down here. Right. All right. So I think we'll just chop the sound up a little bit. It's a little trick I do. Over here, So we'll switch it to beats, 16s, and then move this number up, down. Change that to forward. So I think that's a B flat major 7. So D minor, let's try something around there. And we'll go for Serum. Just do my gain stage on this plugin a bit. In fact the synth's running really hot, so I think what we'll do is we're going to turn it down there. There's a little bit of air to that noise, which I quite like. So in the sort of name of discovery, sort of at this stage, what I'm looking for at various points when I'm writing is just things that are unusual. So it's just a question of kind of digging about. So one thing is a good thing to bear in mind is just when you have parts like this which are sort of in and out and the space between them is just creating lots of distractions by adding other synths and just popping them into their own space, which is what I'm going to do here. So there's a nice gap. Extend that 3 bars, right. Alright, Chili. Right, let's give some live bass a go. Excellent, we're making progress. I better check the chart here. Yeah, there was a Serum. So I quite like Serum for a bit of movement. Right, intro. So, because I put that stab synth on there, it's got a bit of a summoning vibe, hasn't it? So, a good thing for summoning anything are bells. So I've got a ride here. A bit like going to church. Right. Oh, that bass. That last second of last note's gonna have to hold that one there. Right, so I'm probably gonna want some guitar soloing going on here. Right. I think it's a cup of coffee time. So what it is I'm planning on doing as an experiment, one release a week. So I kind of have to hammer a track through now and then. So I think this is going to be it. So I've got one there that I can quickly knock into shape. And the reason I'm wanting to do one track a week is simply because the best way, the best results you get from making music is when you actually release something. And as I always say, that when you release something, you know, that's the end result, and it's fixed, and there's like nothing you can do about that. But the thing you can get from that is the data. So what went well, what didn't go well, and then that can inform the beginning of the process again, and that's how you evolve. That's how sort of this template evolved, how I came up with the sort of idea of experimenting with dynamic mixing, getting a template that wasn't too heavy on the mixing front, but did all the things that were necessary to really provide an acceptable sounding mix, really, in terms of if you were to listen to this as a listener, not like a musician or an engineer, that actually you would think, oh, that's okay, I can do with that. So need a 909 hi-hat. Let's have a look. What have we got? Quite good. Got a nice bit of grit to it. So it's like the chorus bit's almost that indie dance thing, isn't it? So I think having an offbeat hi-hat's a good idea. some filtery type stuff going. Here. So I'm just narrowing the stereo image on there. So this is going to drop the volume of that section before it goes into the chorus, and it's also going to narrow the bandwidth in terms of frequency using an EQ. So I've probably said this before that I'm using EQ8 to do this rather than a filter or what's the other thing, or Fab Filter, because I like the sound of this curve here. So it has like a certain resonance which I really like. So that's the difference we get there. Right. Off. Let's knock it in for 2 bars. Got quite a lot of low end, that bass as well. Take out some of the 30 hertz. Turn it down. So we'll build a bit of energy in with the 808, get some snares in. Okay, I think we're getting there. Let's see if there's any questions. Right, okay. I think we'll stick some vocals on the chorusy bit. And I think I will have a bit of play anyway. Worked well on the verse, that, didn't it? Right, still haven't solved this though. I can't do the high pitched vocals.
Love one more.
Or that.
Can you feel the sun streaming on some sun? I'm flow. Can you feel the streaming?
Yeah, Chipmunks, it's awful. Something like that'll do. And there we go, a whole track knocked out pretty much. There's 80% of it anyway. Right. Any any questions? Whilst I have my coffee. Alright, here we go. Chipmunks, do you ever tweak your velocities of the MIDI signals? I hate having to do that and wonder if there's... Yes, I do, but there's sometimes I don't. So, for example, and there's sometimes actually I just forget to do it because it sounds alright, and then Thomas will do something if it bugs him. But what I tend to do is when you look at the bass, because I've got the track spacer on it, this has been ducked by the drums, like mainly the kick and snare. So that's actually punching a rhythm into the bass. So if I have a listen to say that. Where's it all gone? Right. Okay, so you can hear how the track space is pumping. That's one thing. The other thing is on that live bass, it's got round robin sampling, so each sample that comes in is different. So it gives you that live feel. So that's another thing. And then we've got, let's have a look. Then something like the kicks, later on I'll probably go in and do the velocities, but not on something that's like a dance beat like that. That'll just remain like that. 808 hi-hats. Now I think in this template, let's have a look. So we'll have to crack this one open because there is something that I have there for this. Hopefully it'll be on this one. Yeah, on 808 hi-hats, what I actually do, it's not actually on there on this project, is I have like a sidechain plugin, which just pumps it a little bit and gives it a bit of movement. Otherwise, I'll just go in on the velocities later on and sort that out. But it's just such detail, I just don't bother, I just move on to the next thing, then if it doesn't bother me, then I don't do it. So that's the other thing, like tweaking velocities. I mean, only do it in the writing process if it's like really bugging you, because otherwise it's just one of those really kind of fine adjustments and you can get lost into that one part and lose perspective on the rest of the track. So you've got to be careful with that kind of stuff. Right, it can totally change the sound of a synth velocities if you have if you've got the velocity mapped to an envelope. So I don't know if that doesn't have it, but all that's doing is the velocity is controlling the filter. So what happens is the sound will go brighter. So yes, you'll definitely want to, with something like that, when I have sounds like that, I can just play the part in live and just get the feel I want straight away. Oh, somebody's sneezing in the background. Any other questions? Yeah, but only do it if you can hear it. I mean, remember, listen like a listener. You know, would they hear the difference? If they would hear the difference, then change it. If not, just leave it and see what happens. Because by the time you add in all the other parts, sometimes it's not necessary. I mean, I've done that. I've moved velocities about and turned things down, and then it's completely got lost, and then I've had to turn them back up again. I just don't like doing anything twice, really. You just have to do something and move on from there. See what idea that sparks off, and just keep moving and moving till you get the track done. 6 years ago, I would never have been able to do that. Just knock something up straight away, like a full track, in a session, in an hour, with people watching. Yeah. Yeah, so you're using a timer, that's good. Yeah, I've got one here. Used it today. So I've got this one. What is it? The Serum timer. It's the most valuable bit of kit I've got. That and the metronome I've started using. Got one of these. Been getting this out for the guitar. When I feel up to it. Okay. Just check back on the chat. And I can highly recommend doing shorter sessions as well. You don't need hours and hours to produce a track. You can just, set a time and try and beat that clock. And what you'll find is you do unexpected things, and that's the real good ideas, kind of come out that way under the pressure. Because you just have to go with things. And when you have to go with something, another idea happens. And that can lead you in, a totally different direction. And that's how we come up with unique music. As soon as we start designing things, that's when we start getting a bit boring. So for me to kind of change things up a little bit, because I'm always modifying this template, adding in Serum with some interesting kind of sounds. That's kind of changed things a little bit. Because you just play differently. You respond to that sound, and your ideas are slightly different from your usual instruments that you use. I've still got those as well. So you still retain a little bit, your identity as well. There are certain things I do in the track that are always the same. Same crashes, those cymbals, that soft cymbal. But that's then that I've been producing that track just by that. As soon as you hear that kind of crash, that's when everybody's meant to go running for the dance floor. It's a Hutch, McRocklin and Hutch track. So, I don't suppose to play our stuff in clubs though. But if they did, then they would all go running when they hear that. And none of them would say, "Oh, he didn't change the velocities." Nobody would say that. He's ruined my night, that Hutch. Thank God Thomas changed a few of the velocities on the kick drum, or it would have been a disaster. It's amazing what you can get away with. Right, so I think we're coming to an end. And I think for me, a lot of my style just actually comes from, because this is really kind of becoming very apparent to me when I was listening to new retro wave, is that yes, we've got like the kind of shred wave thing, which is, you know, another sort of unique factor the way that's delivered, and but also in the productions, you know, there is quite a strong kind of, you can tell I've been doing dance music, put it that way. That house thing kind of comes across, and actually, most of the time I'm writing tracks now, I'm not even thinking about any. Well, I am thinking. I'm not really specifically thinking about like synthwave in general. I'm just kind of making electronic music now, I think, and just using the different elements that are key to various other genres, really, and kind of putting them in together. I mean, that's the whole thing of just like grabbing different things from different places and sitting them next to each other and saying, what does this mean? And I suppose depending on the combinations, eventually when you're doing that, you'll find something that's unique and really interesting. So that's just another little observation. Okay, good. Taking notes, cool. Alright, got it. Oh, hi Pommer. How's it going? So I think that's it for me today, and guess what? There is another morning session tomorrow. Now, what I need to do is I need to have a listening session, which I'll do, and I need to work out because I've got to move some stuff on in the machine. So I think there'll be a quick splurge, maybe a multi-splurge, and which I'll have to be really strict on the timings on, and then we're going to have a look at moving some stuff through the machine. What might be interesting actually is that I think when I hear some of the splurges back, there'll be stuff like this which will actually just jump into draft. Probably almost into doneness, to be honest, but I'm going to stick it into draft because I want to. One thing I'm interested in is getting this track and trying to destroy it. Now that would be an interesting experiment, wouldn't it? I want to destroy this track in the name of finding something new. So I think that would be a good thing. And then we're back. All right, guys. So I'm gonna head off now, and I'll see you all later when I find the button that switches everything off. All right, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.